that offsite where you gathered with all your clients and you gave, that is part of the customer experience, right? That you
Yeah.
just created. And at the same time, as you bringing it together, you became a trusted peer in that environment, right?
For sure.
So here's the difference. I just heard about this in probably a stat from like years ago, but that on average across 4,000 recorded sales conversations, that the rep talked 85% of the time. So that has to be part of the customer experience, right? Is that
Sure.
process. It has to be a part of that, right? But it's not, if you're talking 85% of the time and you're listening 15%, and you're only talking about this, what we do, you're not talking about this, and it's a guarded conversation to begin with. To your point, these human to human conversations to understand their crisis du jour, what their life is really about, we have to create those opportunities. They are not going to naturally happen in our go to market motion, right?
Right. Right. But
So,
true.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where most B2B companies fall
Yeah.
short.
Yeah. I think there is a sense of when people share, it's so funny. It's the human psychology, isn't it? Like when people share common problems and challenges and goals, all of a sudden, organically, you have a camaraderie. Like you always becomes a tribe, right? A tribe that kind of protects one another, like watches for each other's back, like trust is formed because now you and I are going through the same challenging path,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
We share like we're in this together. We're either
Yes.
gonna lead together or we're gonna win together. I think majority of humans want to help. They want to help through, and nobody wants to do it alone. One of the common key takeaways is like jokingly stealing from one another. Obviously, yes, me. What are you doing? What are the best practices? What am I missing? What am I missing out that I can learn from you? But hey, look, rather than competing, somebody used the word, what is the word? Coopetition, cooperate, but then compete, but then we need to cooperate. I think when that emerges, you're right. Like when that thought leadership, that trust is formed out of a community, tribal community, or whatever you want to refer it to as, we call it
Yes.
customer advisory board. But in fact, this is a community, right? Community that shares ideas, shares problems, shares all of these things. And I think eventually it leads to your solution. It leads to some type of a resolution because I think humans, at the end of the day, we like to complain about our problems, but I think we're also very outcome focused. Like we want some of those problems to be solved. We're always looking for a hero, somebody to come up and say, hey, I think there's a better future. There's a better life that we can help with.